Hello, and welcome to Van Ren 10, My 10s. My 10s are going to be not necessarily top 10 lists in order, but just lists of 10 stuff, 10 things, basically. Not really in any particular order of favorites or anything of that nature. Just 10 things that I'm surprised at. Maybe just 10 things I want to make a list out of. Because people love top 10s. I love top 10s. You love top 10s. Here's a top 10 for you. I was looking through all of my old cassettes. Now, back in the 80s and 90s, I collected cassettes like crazy. For you millennials, a cassette is a little piece of... I'll show you real quick what a cassette is. This is a cassette, kids. That's a cassette. A lot of people don't know what those are anymore. People my age, we know, and we miss our cassette players in our cars. But I was looking through my cassettes, and I thought, you know what, I want to do a list of cassettes and albums that I had bought over the years that I completely forgot about or, couldn't believe I bought. Well, I looked through 60 of them and I found 10 right away. So I just thought, you know what, I'm going to do a top 10 list, or not a top 10, but a my 10 list of albums I forgot I even owned or chose to forgot I even owned. I don't know. But we'll start it off real quick. Number 10, East Coast Family. Now, I don't know if you can really see this. I don't know how close I want to get these things because I don't want a copyright thing to bite me in the butt. But what East Coast Family was, I don't know if you remember Belle Biv DeVoe and Boyz II Men and Another Bad Creation. Well, this particular cassette was remixes of some of their bigger hits. And there was also a guy in here called MC Brains. I don't remember him, but he has a couple of songs on here. I had forgotten I even owned this thing. Wasn't even I know why I bought it back in the day. I loved these groups. I loved Boyz II Men and Another Bad Creation and Belle Biv DeVoe and things of that nature. So I know why I bought it, but I forgot I had it. So we're moving on. Number 9. Now this one, I know why I bought it. There was a time where Irish folk dancing was popular. That's right. For about Michael Flatley. Oh, people my age will remember. But I actually bought this. I bought the Riverdance, and you probably can't see it, the Riverdance soundtrack. That's right. It's just Irish folk music, and it's not like you even get to hear the little clicking of the shoes. But yeah, I bought this. I own this. I listened to this, and I forgot I had it. So moving on to the next one. Oh, a lot of us will remember this, and I'm ashamed to admit I have it, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. I don't want to get it too close. Deuce's Daisy Dukes. Oh, we remember that song, don't we? One hit wonder. Deuce never had another hit again. All they had was this song, Daisy Dukes. It was stuck in our heads. It was ingrained in there for a little bit. Basically, Daisy Dukes were basically the really short shorts that Daisy Duke of the Dukes of Hazzard used to wear. And she looked mighty fine in them. Well, this particular group decided to do an entire song about a pair of shorts, a certain type of pair of shorts. The rest of the album, awful. That one song, looking back on it, it was good for 15 minutes and now it's terrible. The next one I'm going to bring out to you is Onyx. Onyx. Now you say, well, what's wrong with Onyx? There's nothing wrong with Onyx. I loved the song Slam. No. See, this isn't that album. This was the follow-up album. This is called All We Got Is Us. And is spelled I-Z. That's right. In the 90s, people spelled things with Z's instead of S's. We still do it today, and it's stupid. In fact, I spell Easy Gamer with a Z instead of how it should be spelled. Z's are awesome, I guess. I like to sleep. But this was the follow-up album to the album that had their only hit song called Slam. But and that album wasn't even very good that had Slam on it. But I still thought maybe this album would be better, their sophomore effort. It wasn't. It was, I think I listened to it once and I hid it in the case, hence why I forgot I even owned it. Here's another one. This one, folks, I can't even remember a song off of it. I don't know why I have it. I have a cassette player somewhere in the apartment. I just don't know where I put it. I should hook it up just so I can listen to The Goats. That's right, The Goats. They're called The Goats. The Goats. And it's not greatest of all time because I don't even remember a single song. But I bought this thing. These things were 10 bucks a piece. I bought this for $10. There has to be a song on there. Let's see, I'm going to go through a title here. Hangerhead is Born. Columbus Boat Ride. Yeah. TV Cops. Tattooed Lady. These are clever titles. Tricks of the Shade. That's right, not Tricks of the Trade. They did a little word switching there. Tricks of the Shade. I don't know what song it is. Someday I'm going to listen to this again and figure out why I spent the money on it, but I forgot it existed. Now this one, the DOC. A lot of people remember the DOC was kind of part of Dr. Dre's entourage along with Snoop Dogg, kind of after the whole NWA thing kind of fell apart. And you would say, well, he had a couple of really good songs. This album actually represents, he had a problem with his throat. I don't know if he got shot or if he ended up with cancer. He had a problem, and his voice completely changed. So he tried to make another album, and this one, Helter Skelter, was the album. Excuse me. His voice is very raspy in it. He does not sound like the Doctor. He does not sound like the Doc. I tried listening to it. I loved his original voice. This is hard to listen to because you know what he used to be. And it's not a great album. I didn't forget I had this. I just only listened to it once. Now we're going to probably get into a few more that you guys might actually know. But here we go. Candyman. That's right. Candyman. One hit song called Knockin' Boots. Great song. Still love that song to this day, and that's a forgotten song. We don't remember about the song Knockin' Boots, but it was a great little song, and I could listen to it right now if I had a cassette player, and I would listen to the whole thing. I may buy it from iTunes. But for now, Candyman. I didn't forget I had this. It's just kind of an oddity. It's another one-hit wonder, but I spent the money and bought an entire cassette for one song, an entire album, one good song. The rest of the album, average. I think I listened to it 5 or 6 times, but it's an average album. Things are falling. So now we're going to get into this one. Oh, we all know this one. We know him better now as Mark Wahlberg, but he started out as Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. That's right, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. What was his one-hit song? Vibration, Good Vibrations. One good song. He actually had a few good songs on this album. It's not a horrible album. But the problem was he doesn't have a lot of street cred for he was a white rapper. His brother was in New Kids on the Block, which is a boy band. So of course, no street cred, no anything going into this. He had one hit song. It was kind of upbeat. It was kind of fun. I bought the entire album though. Didn't forget I had it, just kind of wished I could forget I had it. Now, this one. Now, this cover doesn't look familiar to anybody probably. This is the Beverly Hills 90210 soundtrack. And I'm going to show you real quick. Why I actually kind of covered this up. This was a soundtrack. I bought it for one song. Paula Abdul. I was a huge fan of Paula Abdul's. She had an unreleased track on this album. This is what the cover actually looks like. That's right. It's just the cast of 90210. But I was so in denial that I basically said, you know what? I am not going to leave that on the cover. When I have to look at this cassette, I would rather see this. I'm not sure who that is, but I would rather see that. They didn't have a picture of Paula Abdul in there, or I would have, used that. But I bought this soundtrack for one song. One Paula Abdul song. And it's not even a good Paula Abdul song. And then she released it on a Greatest Hits album later. I never had to buy this crap, but I own it. Now this one, I will bet you that nobody that ever watches this will probably remember this. But I barely remember it. I had to look at the back of this thing and find the one hit that they did have off of this. The song was called Help, I'm White and I Can't Get Down. It's the Geezenslaws, folks. I bought a cassette called the Geezenslaws. That's right. Feeling good, getting up, getting down. Geezenslaws. Help I'm White and I Can't Get Down. It was a catchy little song at the time. So those are 10 cassettes, albums that I either forgot that I owned or wished that I could forget that I owned. So that's a little bit of a, I'm going to have more of these because I've got over 600 cassettes that I bought in that day, and I have probably 200 or 300 CDs I bought way back in the day. So you're going to see more of these lists. If you like the video, hit like. If you want to subscribe and see more videos like this and go, oh my God, I didn't know those. Look them up on iTunes. Look them up on iTunes and see if you can find the reason why I bought these things. And to all the troops, past, present, and future, thank you for the freedom.